and it's loading.
Live on YouTube. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
It's most awkward minute here. Why is it loading? What's taking so long?
I don't know. And we're live, I think.
Perfect. Yep. We are. There we go. What most awkward time? Oh, are we sponsored by Zoom?
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have that Zoom watermark there. Which, to be honest, I think that's better than the other one that we had.
Well, yeah, but the other one we could have fixed.
StreamYard. Little StreamYard, whatever. The crappy StreamYard icon or whatever. But I think Zoom looks professional because it's Zoom. Everybody knows Zoom. It's like a household name. And
all right. What am I doing here? I'm trying to share this and I can't. I'm having an issue sharing it. What? There we go. Am I 105 now? Like, if is technology past me that I'm that old? I don't understand. Zoom Live.
I don't know, man. You always seem to have a hard time sharing the.
Oh man, it's like I went like Nintendo 64. Then like I skipped everything. They were just like, okay, I'm done. I'm old. I'm 105. Mm-hmm. It is brutal.
It's funny. My dad wanted a video game for Christmas last year, and I couldn't remember it for the life of me. I was getting the wrong one when I'd go shopping and stuff. And
but your old man got a PS5?
Not yet. He probably will though. They're more into video games than I am, and like I said, they'll tell me about the newest fucking video games. And is it Grand Theft Auto? Is it fucking wrestling? Mortal Kombat? And they're like, no, it's fucking blah 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 blah, and it just goes in one ear.
Right over your head. Red Dead Redemption or something. I love Red Dead Redemption.
Well, Red Dead, of course, I know that one, but you know.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto, man. I don't know. Grand Theft Auto 5 has been on the Xbox One since it started, I guess, and it hasn't really left. They didn't make a new one or anything like that. So, I mean, hey, it's a good time. I mean, if you can ride one video game out and make as much money as they did, why not?
It's funny. It's funny. I've been playing Grand Theft Auto 1. That was one of my favorite games, and then
the top scroller with the shitty graphics, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we're looking
at? It was like 16-bit or whatever, 32-bit maybe or whatever, but it was a very aerial top view, like a 2D top view, and kill a bunch of people and it's basically the same game, only a different perspective.
Yeah, and it would just give you the little text missions, and then you have to go across town and get it done, and then you get it done, and they go, you get so much money, and you're like,
8Ball would text you. He would beep you on the beeper.
Oh, you have the what do you call those? Pagers. Mm-hmm. That's what he used to do.
Remember that epic promo from Stone Cold Steve Austin to The Rock? When your beeper goes off with 316, you know your ass is mine. That's your and the smart thing is he goes, that's your warning call, so it's not a sucker punch. So then you see The Rock in the ring, and he looks down, and his eyes light up, and then he's like, all right, motherfucker, looking towards the entrance, but Austin's behind him.
Yeah, it comes through the crowd. Yeah. That was good. That was you know what? That was actually pretty. That's when wrestling was fun to watch, right? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
But that's like, just. Sorry,
I think you've done that to me at a bar once. Like you texted me like Adam 316, and I looked at my phone, and then I looked around because I didn't know where the fuck you were, and I knew you were gonna get me. Like I remember you doing that to me at a bar, like Adam 316, and I just looked around.
That's how you know something's over, is when everybody's imitating it. But that's the sort of thing you can't really do that much now. I mean, sure, you could text your buddy 316 or whatever, but it's not the same as a random page from a number you don't recognize.
Yeah, it's true, right?
Anyway, man, how have you been?
Oh, good, man. Kid, you know how it is, right? No, you don't know how it is. It's
no, I don't know how it is.
He's I don't know, sleeping during the day and partying at night. Like the guy's already living the bachelor life, you know. It's so awkward though. It's awkward that it feels like when you're a new dad, you can't help. You're just basically sitting there.
Is that true? I don't know. No, I don't.
Because like she's breastfeeding, so I don't have any. Like I don't have a set for the kid to suck on. Well, I have a set, but they don't produce milk.
Yeah, you can't.
Like, you know what I mean? You probably produce pints. Like I don't know, kid would be drunk, but no. So it's like, what can I do for you? So like the wife's got a station set up. It's like, all right, here you want some chips? Do you want a banana? Like what do you want me to get for you? Right?
Yeah. Well, you just, I guess, help out your wife in any way that she can.
That's it. You give her a hand where you can, and that's basically it. My buddies just had one of my good buddies down here just had a child as well yesterday.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so we got two boys a week apart, which is always good.
That's cool. So they'll be friends when they grow up, eh?
We're hoping, man. We're hoping for, you know, the only thing I was laughing at, and I was saying like, if they both like hockey, like one can't be the goalie. If one's the goalie, the other one can't be. Like they can't be. they can go up together and stuff. That's kind of what we're hoping for, right?
Why can't one be the goalie? That'd be
one
great.
can't be the goalie, but both can't be the goalie. Sorry, they
No,
both
yeah.
can't be goalie because you'd be like, no, one has to be the goalie. Maybe the other one could be the defenseman or the forward or whatever have you. Or maybe a pitcher. Oh no, I'm not even going to start with what I was going to say for baseball. Baseball, soccer, you start thinking all these cool things, and then you start doing that. Just for the record, Adam did get a haircut from the last 15 minutes. He was on the line. Looks sharp, buddy. I like it. Looking good. We're trying Zoom out. I'm enjoying this Zoom call. I still see basically the same on my end, but it's everybody else on YouTube is seeing a little bit different, which is always good.
I think it's cool. I think you're gonna have to take my advice and invest in a light. I'm gonna show you guys this. This is what I look like without my lights.
Yeah, and then you put your light on. I'm gonna have to buy some this week.
And this is how I streamed on StreamYard all this time. And I've got lights set up for filming, like when I film for Northland Wrestling or when I film like individual videos that aren't live. I have lights set up, and I have a switch that turns all three of them on, and it makes a big difference on Zoom. On StreamYard, I don't know what
StreamYard it doesn't, but on Zoom it looks like I look like I am in the dark. Look at that.
That's all right, man. We're working in progress.
You know what? We're working in progress. We'll get it done. We'll get it all down and all set up and down.
It's funny though. While we're on the subject, because you would think that it's just your camera. I don't like this is stuff that's beyond my understanding, but you would think my camera picks up the certain amount of light, and my camera does it. But somehow in the computer magic technology, it changes it.
Yeah, I don't understand either. Like, and you would figure on the one that you're not paying for, the free one, I'd be darker than this. You know what I mean? Like I'd be, and then you're like, no, you're this and that. It's kind of weird.
Maybe has more pixels, or I don't know. That's all beyond me. I'm not going to bullshit.
No, I'm not going to bullshit either. Before we got going, Undertaker. I know we're wrestling fans. Undertaker finally retired.
Finally retired for real this time. Undertaker's the new Terry Funk.
Oh, I like working with him, Adam. Oh, he's great.
God damn it, I'm the Funker. But he's retired. I mean, he's retired every WrestleMania for fucking 10 years or 15, and
I think he's finally done. I think he is. Like, I just think of his poor body, right? And then I think about his body, and I go like, yeah, I could. How he lasted 30 years in the WWE alone? Like, that's nobody else is counting like his other shit. Like his stuff before WCW, AEW, all that. Or
that's a good point that I didn't even think of.
AWA and all that stuff, right? Like,
he started at WCW, and he was also in. I think he was in World Class before that.
Was he in World Class? Okay, no, but like, just think about that for a second, Adam. That guy has worked for 40 years in the ring. Let's say 40, and he's finally retired. Mm-hmm. I would quit. I'd be done. I can't get over how dark I am. Maybe if I move back a little bit. Hey, a little bit better.
I'll give you some tips on how to light your face up. I've been through this all.
Yeah, I'll light your face up. No, I'm gonna go buy some lights. I think we'll figure it out from there.
I'll give you some tips on the best way to do it. But
my lights are also warm that are around my house. Like, they're very warm, and they look a little different than everybody else's. So,
but there's some lights. You might even have them already. There's some people who make YouTube videos. We've all sort of figured it out, and whatever. There's tips that we all give each other.
Yeah, right, well, we'll figure it out, man. I'm not too worried about it.
No, man, you look beautiful. Don't worry about it.
Thanks, man. My beard is bushy. Oh, it's been a day. Today's been a Monday. Let's put it that way. Today's a Monday. So what do you think? What's your favorite Undertaker match?
Favorite Undertaker match? I'm a big fan of the ones that he had with Shawn Michaels, the 2 WrestleManias that he did with him. I mean, you can't not mention the Hell in a Cell with Mick Foley.
But Taker really didn't do much. That was all Mick. Well, like Mick put his body on the line, so it wasn't really him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I wish that I had a really cool answer for that. I'm sure that when we get off the air, I'm going to go, there is one that I really like. You know what I really like is the first Hell in a Cell with Shawn Michaels was really good, actually.
I like that one. And to say like I like the match in the Undertakers, I liked when he first came in on how he was just, you couldn't beat him. You couldn't beat him. Like, he went into the Survivor Series, ran through the Soul Survivor, ran through the whole team, all that stuff, and then like just beating the tar out of everybody. What? I think his feud with Yoko, was really good. I really enjoyed that.
That's funny. That's the one, his match where he died and went to heaven and whatever.
Yeah.
That's sort of scoffed at universally by the internet wrestling community, though. But you know what? Him and Yoko were great friends, so they did have some wonderful matches. I also like that an interesting Chuck Norris fact is that when The Undertaker needs a bodyguard, he hires Chuck Norris.
You imagine that?
That's what happened in that match. He lost because the entire heel locker room came out and helped Yokozuna beat The Undertaker. And then they had a rematch and he hired Chuck Norris, and Chuck Norris beat up all the bad guys for The Undertaker.
That's hey man, you know what? I wouldn't fuck with Chuck Norris. I don't know about you. I wouldn't fuck with Chuck Norris at all. But anyway. Yeah, I don't know, man. Just I want to give Undertaker a little love, as I don't watch wrestling now, but I mean, you got to give the man some love. I mean, entertainment-wise, he was bar down probably one of the better ones.
Yeah. So a bit of a slow week for news this week. It's all election, eh?
Yeah, I've been trying to not watch it. I've been trying to find other stuff to watch. Like trying to find the comedy and stuff, and Trump still being an idiot, he won't concede.
I'm glad that you see it that way, man. One thing that I will say that I have observed, I might have said it last week, is that there are, I mean, all the liberals obviously are anti-Trump in this, but the conservatives are kind of divided between the ones that are like, no, it is a fraud. And like these ones, you know, they don't actually believe it. They can't actually believe it. And then there's guys like even Ben Shapiro, who gets a bad rap sometimes, who's like, listen, yeah, investigate the fraud, but like Trump's lost the election. Let's be real.
It's done. As far as I'm concerned, it's over, man.
Yeah.
But now, like we're done. We're good. We're good. We don't need, thank you for what you've done. I appreciate it. But the thing that gets me is like, let's look forward like a year from now. What are we going to have for entertainment political wise?
Oh, I'm sure there'll be plenty. I'm sure Joe Biden is not a perfect candidate by any stretch of the imagination. I'm sure there's going to be plenty to criticize him about, both from the left and the right, because he's a moderate. He's right in the middle. He's, like I say, Republican light, and plenty of people are going to have things to criticize him for. I think Trump might stay in the limelight for a little while. He's going to be criticizing like he did with Obama from afar, and there'll still be stuff. There's always going to be news to talk about. That's what's great about this kind of show.
So so obviously Trump's getting out of the White House. It's evident. It's evident. He was out golfing this week sometime. I want him to become more of a heel.
More of a heel than he already was? I don't think that's possible.
There is one thing he can do to become more of a heel, and tomorrow he can do it.
What's that?
Tomorrow is the day before Tuesday before the Thanksgiving. He pardons a turkey.
Pardons a turkey? What do you mean he pardons a turkey?
They pardon a turkey. So every president, every Thanksgiving, pardons one turkey so it doesn't get eaten.
I didn't know this. That's interesting.
He needs to call it Joe and not pardon the fucking turkey, or call it Hillary and off with its head. Like, he needs to play the heel role more.
He needs to pardon.
He really does.
He needs to find a way to pardon himself, because when he gets out of the office, he might be looking at some charges. That's all I'm saying.
That's all bullshit. Don't even listen to that.
Well, you know what though? The thing is he was impeached, so he could have been brought up on any charges anyway. So maybe he'll be all right.
Here's the thing, man: is that you better have a lot of you can't pardon me. You cannot go after somebody who runs the country after the fact for what they did during, unless it was crimes against humanity. Like, that's what got Saddam. Saddam's like, this is my own country. And they're like, you're using...
I don't think that's true, man. I think that you can't go after the president while they're in power, but once they're...
So then why isn't Clinton brought up on rape charges?
Well, he was. I mean, not rape, but he stood trial for, like, that was
why
and
he was impeached. But why didn't he do it?
He did stand trial. He was impeached. He stood trial. I was very young at the time, so I don't really remember, but what I do remember is, I don't know what the charges were, but I remember in the end he was found not guilty, but he was still impeached.
I know he was impeached, but he didn't go for any criminal after the fact, is what I'm saying, is what I'm getting at. And
I believe he was charged with something. I don't know if it was criminal or civil.
And then Nixon stepped down, and then Nixon got pardoned right off the hop by Ford. I know that for a fact. Maybe that's what he should do. I'm stepping down today. Fucking he rolls in and goes, I pardon you right now. And then Pence rolls off, and Pence the best. You know what? He goes, fuck it, I'm done. He goes, okay, I'm stepping down effective immediately. Everybody gets good. Pence goes in one day, goes, I pardon Donald Trump. I'm out too. Fuck you guys. Have a good time.
No, but that's not. They can't do that. That's not how.
Why can't they do that? Why can't they do that? Loopholes, my friend. Loopholes.
You know, I didn't really. Speaking of loopholes, with this college electoral system, the senators get to vote, and apparently, Donald Trump is trying to petition them. He's having these secret meetings with these people, saying, "Don't fucking vote that way. Vote for me anyway." Even though the fucking votes are all.
Dude, that's what when Trump. If you look back, we don't talk about it too much.
Yeah,
that's what they thought was going to happen with Trump. Was that all the Hillary's like politic, like all of her pollsters would have voted against Trump, but they said even though it's Donald Trump, you never go against who the constituents vote for because then your constituents would turn on you.
Yeah.
So you would never, you don't want to put that in jeopardy at all. So they thought Hillary was going to do that as well.
I didn't realize they could do that. Like I understand the electoral colleges, but I didn't realize that at the end, like I knew that there was a day that they have to pledge and all that. I guess I kind of knew it, but I didn't realize that they could go against what people voted. That seems so crazy to me. And there should be consequences to that. I mean, you shouldn't even have the option to do that. That just blows my mind.
Isn't that crazy though, that you can go, no, you know what? I'm still going to do this and I'm still going to do that. And they go, no, I'm good. This is what I'm going to do. I just want you to think about that for a minute. Just like, wow, that is fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, it is.
That's crazy how they can do that. Give me a break, man.
Yeah, what kind of democracy do we fucking live in, or do they live in?
We don't. None of us do. Come on, let's get honest here.
I guess not. Apparently, you know.
Like, no, we don't live in anything. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, just think about that for a second. How crazy that would be if they're like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, it's true, but here's what's going to happen. You just piss away the free world, basically.
Yeah,
they're not even free. What are you clicking on over there? You all good?
I'm trying to see why we're not getting any fucking chat comments, because I do have the YouTube video open and there's no one chatting in there, but we may not have very many people watching. That's fine. We're going on a little bit late on a Monday. I don't expect as many viewers as we usually get.
No, it's true. And I don't know. Yeah, we'll figure all this shit out. This is the first time on Zoom. Yeah. Apparently I've got to get some lighting and some camera system set up, but we'll get that done.
Yeah. We're a work in progress.
We're a work in progress this week. It's like we're almost we've
always a work in progress. Everything in life is a work in progress.
Exactly. I like that. What the hell's that kid's name? Kyle. What the hell is his name?
Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse was released on $2 million bail and had basically people help him out pay this bail for him.
How many people did he kill?
He killed 2 and injured 1.
You imagine that? Yeah. You're up for double murder and injuring another one, and you get bailed. That doesn't happen in Canada, man. That does not happen. As much as our justice system's a joke in Canada, that doesn't happen in Canada. It's mind-boggling. It really is. You're like, what the fuck? And there's people that are paying for it, which is really mind-boggling.
Yeah, people support him. What's interesting is, and there is a very it's sort of like Rob said. 2 people look at the dress and one person says it's blue and one person says it's white. There is exactly that going on. There are people saying this was absolutely murder, and there are other people saying this was absolutely self-defense. And I don't understand the self-defense argument whatsoever.
I understand the self-defense. I really do.
Really? How?
I do. Adam, if you're putting yourself in and this is where I don't understand America right now.
Okay.
Listen. If you're going to put yourself in a position, I think everybody's in the wrong on this one. I don't think there's the right person. The 2 people who died, I don't think were in the right spot, and him himself was definitely not in the right spot. Don't put yourself in a situation to break a law and or get shot.
How do you say that the 2 people that were killed were not in the right?
Because they did attack him.
Okay.
So then, like, here's the thing, Adam. If you have a gun and I don't have a gun, I have a skateboard. And I chase you and you shoot me, yeah, that's my fault. I chased a guy with a gun. Like, do you understand? Like, common sense comes in. Do you know what I mean? You're like, hey, you get arrested, you get a DUI, and they go, you blew basically one beer over. I knew I shouldn't have had that extra pint. You still did. What I'm saying is like.
So here's, I want to circle back before you go too far forward, before we get away from this point. I can't. Now, there's not a lot of footage. I've looked. There's not a lot of footage of the first the first person killed. There is some, but there's not a lot, and there's a little bit of room for interpretation. So let's, for the sake of this argument, assume that Kyle Rittenhouse was wrong. He was in the wrong, and it was a murder. Let's assume that.
Yep.
The two people after that are trying to disarm an active shooter. That guy's killing people and he's got a gun and he's running around. It's not self-defense. It's this guy's an active shooter. We have to stop him from killing more innocent people.
We talked about this before. It was a Black Lives Matter protest. 3 white people were shot. That guy's got impeccable aim.
Well, I guess he didn't kill all
He killed
three.
He shot 3 white people at a Black Lives Matter protest.
Sure.
That kid has impeccable aim.
Why do you say he has impeccable aim?
He didn't hit one black person in a Black Lives Matter. He didn't hit one black person. Every video I've seen, they were all white people. What am I missing? What are we missing that we don't see?
I don't know what you're getting at here.
They were looting. They were not protesting. The people were not protesting. Protesting, I mean, this is where I've told you before, and I get blue on the face, and sometimes I get called a racist, but I don't know how. But I support the Black Lives Matter protest because they're doing a lot of things and they're not burning shit down. Sure. It's the white guys that are burning stuff down. I'm racist towards white people. I really am. I
mean, there's a whole lot to dive into there.
But my racism towards white people, dude, don't blast me that hard. Like,
I'm not. I don't think you have racism towards white people. But what I'm saying is, again, okay, the two later people, they weren't. I mean, there's no reason to believe they were looting. Now, the first person could have been looting. I don't know. I don't believe anything in that video indicates that they were. I don't know. I don't know what started the confrontation between him and Kyle Rittenhouse. But once Kyle Rittenhouse kills that person, the dynamic changes to, we got to disarm this person before he hurts somebody else. And I know that he's claiming self-defense. I had to defend myself and whatever. And maybe that's true in the first case. But to me, there's no way that's true in the next two.
Okay, so then he gets, and it's America. So the first one, he was defending himself. See, so this is how the lawyers will probably do it. So they go, the first one was looting.
Sure.
So they have stupid laws like protect your property or something dumb like that in America, where if you shoot the guy in self-defense of your property, it's fine.
Sure.
So then the second guy comes in and he shoots him. Now they could say, now the defense, I'm just saying defense, will say the first guy was looting, that's his buddy, come to the defense of the second guy, or of the first guy that got shot. He also got shot. Now, I don't know what happened to the third guy. Now, I think he was running around on the street and shot another guy on his back or something dumb, if I can remember the video. I don't care to watch people get killed on the internet.
Sorry, what are you asking? I've seen the video. I can answer your question.
So the first guy got killed.
First guy got killed, yes.
Let's call him a looter. We'll just say he was looting. The second, was he not in the middle of the street and shot up with his gun? Was he not on the ground?
Yeah.
And the guy
I think he hit him with a skateboard and he fell down. There were two guys. So one guy hit him with a skateboard and got shot in the arm. That guy might have had a gun too. Might have had a handgun, I believe. And shot him in the arm. And then the second guy, he was on his back and he shot up and killed him.
So the first guy with the gun and skateboard, did he get killed?
The first guy with the gun and Sorry. The first guy was killed. The second guy with the gun and skateboard, when in the later video, he was not killed. He was shot in the arm.
And then the third bastard was shot and killed.
Shot and killed, yes.
So the third guy,
yeah,
comes in and goes, you got to stop with the skateboard. Maybe he sees the gun, tries to break it up. He just gets shot. He gets plugged.
I think that guy might have had a gun too.
Dude, it's a wash.
Yeah.
It's a wash, dude. It's you shoot me, I shoot you. It's America. It's cowboys and Indians. As much as people don't like to hear that, it's cowboys and Indians, man. That's America. Don't try and make sense of it.
Listen,
it's cowboys and Indians.
Native Americans. Actually, it's Aboriginal people now.
Or let's kick cops and robbers. There you go. There we go.
Listen, I'm going to say this. I have heard the scenario a million times from conservatives is the reason you need a gun is to defend yourself against somebody committing a mass killing with a gun. That's what these liberals were doing this time. And all of a sudden, oh, whoa. No. That doesn't apply here.
It's true. So you're on my side?
No.
How is this
I'm
working?
saying the other way. I'm saying Kyle Rittenhouse is killing people. The liberals say, okay, we have guns. We have to stop this. We have to step in and do the right thing. We have to do what the conservatives' fantasy is, to stop an active shooter with our power, with our force, stop this active shooter. And all of a sudden, no, that's not how that works. No. This guy's defending himself against you guys.
No, but you are correct, though. The guy pulls a gun out. Okay, you pull the gun out, I pull the gun out, we all pull guns out, we just start shooting. In America, that's just called fucking Tuesday. That's a Tuesday morning. That's coffee, man. Like that's how it is. We're trying to understand the American way. We would have a better chance, you and I, of breaking down and to understand a woman than we do American law.
Like, just digging deeper.
No, but it's so true, though.
Why I love having you here. These outlandish things. You and
I would be easier for us to break down the thoughts and how a woman works than the American gun laws. Every state's different. There's no blanket statement. Everything's fucking crazy down there. We don't know what we're like. We don't know what they're doing. They have counties that are dry counties because they're ran by the church and they think the church alcohol is the devil. Like, dude, they have some stupid laws down there. Then you have like Las Vegas, where like a lot of shit's legal. Not everything, but a lot of shit's legal. And then you have Florida, that's in the news all the time, just for Florida, man. And California, well, fucking, I don't even know about California anymore. I don't know. They have fucking fires and homeless people, and everybody's leaving. That's all I hear. And high taxes.
It is high taxes. Everybody's leaving. It's interesting. I kind of want to talk about Joe Rogan. Did you see Tom Green on Joe Rogan?
I did not, because I was watching the 3-hour. I watched the Chappelle one.
Okay.
Which is crazy, which I laughed at because Chappelle just randomly showed up.
Yeah.
Tell me about the Tom Green one. I know Tom.
Okay. Did you see the first Tom Green one that he did, where he came in and he was very straight-laced and sober, and he said that I don't leave my house, and I had cancer at one point, and because of this I don't want to get sick, so and he talks like this, I stay home, and I don't want to get sick, so I wash my hands, I sanitize, I stay home. I haven't had any human interaction. When I order groceries, they stay in the lobby and they stay there for 3 weeks, and then I sanitize them, and then I am allowed to eat them. And I haven't left my house since the pandemic started. Okay. So that was the first time. And it feels like it was just yesterday. It's funny how this pandemic has worked, because
I don't want to talk about it. Oh, it's
feels
crazy.
Like that was just yesterday, but I guess that was the beginning of the pandemic. So fucking Tom Green rolls in, and he's got this giant beard, and he looks like a completely different person. He's like 100 pounds lighter, and he's got long ass hair, and he's in like a t-shirt. You can tell that he's a little bit fucked up. I don't know if he's drunk or high or whatever. And he's going, yeah, I live out of my van. I travel America. I haven't been home in months. I record a podcast out of my van because I have satellite internet, and I go out in the bush, and I've seen every part of the country, and he's like a complete 180. He hasn't been home in months, and he's a completely different person. He's got a complete like long ass hair. I can't believe like I said, it feels like a week ago he was on the show, and he somehow managed to grow out his hair and live an entirely different lifestyle in that time.
So I used to follow Tom Green's show. I used to watch. He used to be on every Friday night. I'd sit at home. I'd be on my computer, and I'd watch his internet show, and he had Rogan on there. And there's videos of Rogan saying like, you're onto something here. So this is just on the internet. And he's like, yeah, that's it. Like if you go back, like he's rapped with Exhibit. He's had a bunch of guys in his thing, and I followed up.
I love that Exhibit video.
Yeah, the Tom Green Experience. I watched a lot of it, and I was a follower on Twitter. I think he still follows me on Twitter. The Experience does not Tom Green, but like that guy's so crazy, and he's Canadian too, which not a lot of people are like, well, it's Tom Green, he's an idiot. But no, he's Canadian and he's awesome. Like your brother and I met Tom Green by mistake. We didn't even know it was Tom Green until he left.
I've heard this story, but I've also heard some of our friends poke some holes into this. So I'd like you to.
So here's the story. Here's the story from what I can remember.
Okay.
Was we were playing hockey at the ODR, me and your brother, because Your brother actually, we did that a lot one year, a couple of years in high school. Played a lot of an ODR, sorry, outdoor rink. So we played at the outdoor rink. My dad and I ran it, and we had a good time. And then Trev and I were playing hockey, and like Tom kind of came out and was fucking around, but like he had like a toque on, like a hoodie and stuff, and like he kind of like was talking to us, and then like we're kind of sitting there, and like he left, and then like I looked at Trev, and Trev looked at me and was like, that fucking guy looked like Tom Green. And then I was like, yeah, what the fuck's Tom Green doing in fucking North Bay? Like, you know, he's got his show in Ottawa, whatever have you. Then like months later, like I don't even know if it was months later, his Tom Green show was in North Bay. And I'm like, holy fuck, he was actually in North Bay. Like that's from what I can remember. Like he wasn't an asshole. He just kind of came out, played a little hockey, passed the puck. I don't remember him doing anything extravagant. I just remember like him leaving and Chef going, fuck, I think that guy looked like Tom Green. He kind of did look like Tom Green a lot, didn't he? And then he had the video. Like that's all I can remember. Like it wasn't really like cool. It wasn't like we were like hanging out and best buddies. It was like, hey, passing the puck. Hey, nice pass. Thanks, man. Just kind of chit chat and stuff. And then it was like, hey, fuck, Tom Green was in town.
So I heard that story, and for the longest time, I was like, oh, that's a really cool story. And there was another guy that was there with you. I think my neighbor was there with you. I think he claims he was. But anyway, I told him that story, and I was like, man, that's really cool that you guys got to meet Tom Green and whatever. And he's like, it wasn't Tom Green. I was there. And I'm like, what do you mean it wasn't Tom Green? And he goes, man, I get like the story, what would Tom Green be doing in North Bay? But then you check on that he's in North Bay on the fucking thing. Well, the outdoor rink happened in the winter. Tom Green was in town in the summer.
No, he wasn't. That wasn't the summertime.
Yeah,
it was still snowing, wasn't it?
No, it was summer.
I could have swore it was Tom Green, but hey, man, if it wasn't, it wasn't to me. But
I'm gonna circle back and I'm gonna say, you know what? It could have been Tom Green because I've heard that he camps a little bit further north of us.
But Tom Green. Who the fuck is your neighbor?
My neighbor.
That narrows it down. Like your neighbor now?
No, well, my former neighbor, I guess.
The
guy that was in a wheelchair for a little while. Holy fuck, Jeff!
No, I understand that. He was your former neighbor. I don't understand what the hell happened.
I'll talk to you later.
Jeff wasn't there.
Oh, well, he told me he was there.
No, it was me. It was me and your brother. Okay. And you were supposed to be there, but you didn't come out. It was me and your brother. Because Jeff, when we played with hockey with those guys, it was up by the Crothers. It was up by the park. That's where we used to play hockey with him. Me, him, and Luke. That's another story. That's another fun ODR story, but that's neither here nor there.
Long story short, it's an interesting story. It's pretty cool one way or the other. Nobody will ever really know if it was him or not.
Let's talk about Tom Green for a second. Let's talk about what he's doing.
Sure.
If you had a retirement fund, like let's just say you were like 45. Let's just say, well, Tom Green's got to be old now. He's got to be in his 50s. Close to it.
You know, I think he said it on one of the recent episodes that he was on, but I don't recall.
Let's just say you can retire at 50. Sure. Let's say Tom Green's retired. He's probably got maybe $5 million in the bank. Would you travel in a van though? Like if you were in America, like if you were just like, hey, you know what? I'm retired. I'm young. Would you just take a van and just go, you know what? I'm just going to go to the southern United States and just travel around.
I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I feel like if I was retired, there'd be other things that I would be doing other than that. It's interesting because he has the internet, so he could, like, one of the things I would want to do is I would still want to do stuff like this, and he could still do stuff like this. So it's not off the table.
You know what? Like, I think I would. You know what? I still think I want to take a summer off one year when Felix is a little bit older, like when he's older, like when he's like 14 or something. Be like, hey, I'm taking a month off. Yeah, you and I are gonna go out. We're gonna go out to like the East Coast, and then we'll drive up and we'll go to Quebec, and then I want to hit the West Coast or something, or take a trip. I just want to go. Let's just go for a trip around, wherever the hell we want to go. I think that'd be fun. I think for a summer. I don't know how long he's doing it for, but if you're in a pandemic, why not just travel from state to state? Nobody's doing shit anyways. Well, in America, they're doing everything apparently, but.
Well, I think that this is his way of social distancing, because he gets into the nitty gritty of he goes into the bush, deep into the bush where no people are. So he's sort of isolating into the bush, but he's just taking a very drastically different approach to isolating and seeing the country at the same time.
Yeah.
Another thing that's really cool though is he shows Joe Rogan check the OR. They play it a little bit on that.
Oh, nice. That's like one of my favorite too.
Yeah.
I wish it was on Spotify, dude.
Yeah, he shows him that, and Tom Green's like, oh, cool. Like, I guess you were a rapper for like a moderate level rapper that nobody really like. He didn't really appreciate how big of a song that was in Canada. Everybody knows it.
I lay more chicks than Mother Goose. Pass the OJ because I got juice. Yeah, man, that's a great tune. I can still sing it, man. It's amazing.
Yeah. And you mentioned the time that he was on Exhibit. That's actually one of my favorite YouTube clips is Exhibit comes on. Go ahead.
My reason that's my favorite is Exhibit's face.
Yeah.
When Tom Green hits the raps.
Yeah, he's like, comes on, Exhibit's like, he's like, hey, Exhibit, you want to freestyle? And Exhibit's like, oh, I'll freestyle, but you gotta set it off for me. And Tom Green's like, well, I do rap a little bit in my free time, but I don't like to. I'm a little bit shy because there's a professional here, and I don't want to rap in front of a professional. I'm afraid that you'll show me up. And he's like, you'll do fine. It's like, okay. And then he's like, and Exhibit's just like, what the fuck?
Dude, and then he says a couple of beats, and all of a sudden Exhibit's like, nice, nice. I like it.
And then Exhibit does his part, and it's clear that he's trying to make it look like maybe he did okay, but most people would say that Tom Green was
better.
This far ahead. And Exhibit's kind of stops, and then Tom Green's like, well, I got more. And he just fucking he goes from like this to like boom, and Exhibit's just like, wow, that's fucking impressive. I'm not even gonna do another one.
Yeah, I know. He's like, I hope Dr. Dre doesn't see this because I'll get fucking killed.
Yeah. Fuck. Tom Green showed him up, and nobody even knows him as a
rapper. Not at all. No, not at all. I love Tom Green.
Trev is asking, was it when he went to Fanny's in the Bible store? Absolutely. That was when that happened.
Yeah, the orange store. The orange store.
We don't know what goes on in the orange store.
I can't remember. I think that was just like food, canned goods, wasn't it?
It was a grocery store. I'm just quoting Tom Green because that's what he said. At the end of the video, he goes, we got Fanny's in the Bible store, and then there's the orange store. We don't know what happens in the orange store.
And what's in that plaza now? You got like you got Fanny's, Wacky Wings, you got
Fanny's was the one that
Popeyes, not the chicken.
Popeyes supplements. And I think there's like a dog.
Is there a dog place in there?
Or like a pet store of some sort. And it's changed quite a bit. The orange store I remember going to with my grandparents when I was very young. That was the sort of thing that you just thought was going to be around forever, but it just disappeared one day.
Yeah.
Strange name for a store too.
The orange
store. Why is it the orange store? Do you just sell oranges?
No, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, like I don't even think the inside was orange.
It was actually very.
It was like.
From what I recall, it was very
industrial, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Say that. Like, does that make sense to you?
I was gonna say bare bones, but industrial is a good way to say it. It was just nothing showy about
metal shelves and just fucking. That's how she goes.
Yeah. So we got 2 vaccines.
Oh, Sputnik V! I'm stoked.
No, they're 2 separate vaccines. One was 90% effective, and the other one came out and said, well, we're 94% effective. And then the first one came back and said, well, we're actually 95% effective.
My dad could beat up your dad.
Yeah, exactly. These vaccines are feuding. But you know what? I don't blame them because, they're both going to get used because we need as much of the vaccine as possible, as much of these vaccines as possible. But whoever is the leading vaccine is set to make a fucking fortune.
You're taking it?
Fuck yeah, are you?
Absolutely. Dude, I was ready to take Sputnik 5. Dude, I'll take anything. No, listen, anti-vaxxers, you guys are going to have a hard time traveling. A very fucking hard time traveling. Countries have come out and said, we're going to have to start carrying our immune cards with us when you want to travel. Yeah, which is a little different. I would just want them to tie that with our passports. So they type in your name and passport, so they scan your passport. And they just go, oh, there it is. That's what I prefer for them to do. But I want them. I don't care if people know what I'm immunized for. I really don't care. We're all basically the same, anyways, right?
Have you traveled? Have you gone through customs before?
Yeah, Mexico once for Luke's wedding.
So when I went to the States. I don't know the laws for Mexico, but I know that going to America, they ask you when you go and show your passport and whatever, they ask you like, have you been on a farm? Have you been in contact with like wood? Have you, you know what I mean? Are you bringing any wood back with you? Or
Yes.
so they want to. I expect that at some point they're going to check your vaccination as well as that.
So when we went to Mexico, when you're leaving Canada going to Mexico, they don't give a fuck. They're like, go. Yeah. They're like, just go, whatever. You get to Mexico, dude, we land on this little, we went to this little fucking, we went to Utuco, which is a very small, isolated on the bottom half by Guatemala border. Mm-hmm. We land on this little airport, we fly over it, and I'm like, there's no fucking way we're landing on that. And then the plane just drops. But anyways, we're standing outside, and like their customs is like, you walk in, you stamp, they look at your passport, they give it a stamp, welcome to Mexico. But before you go, there's like a nurse or like a girl with a jacket on, and she says, please take your sunglasses off. Takes your sunglasses off. She goes, open your eyes as wide as you can. You open your eyes as wide as you can. And then she goes, okay, you're good.
What are they checking for?
To see if you have jaundice in your eyes. Oh. So to see if you're coming here for healthcare. And I laughed, and I'm like, I just came from Canada. And the girl was laughing, and she's like, we have certain things you can do in Mexico that you can't do in Canada. So that's why I'm asking. And I was like, oh, okay. Then what got me was the dog sniffed me. They have like a dog when you come in, and it's very small. Like whereas when you come in, the dog was sniffing mine. I'm like, whoa, dude, I got nothing. And the guy just laughed and was like, just keep going. But they didn't ask me anything. They're just like.
Let me ask you this. Do you think the government is going to mandate that people get the vaccine in
Absolutely.
Canada? You think so? Really? I disagree. I don't think that they're going to.
Here's my problem with that, Adam. And have I said this before? As a former smoker, they would probably, it's going to come down to, have you smoked before in your life? Yeah, I smoked. They go, you have lung cancer. We're not going to help you.
Really? What in Canada? You think? In Canada?
I think so, because it's starting to cost us way too much money, dude.
I don't think that. No, that's
dude. Okay, so if there's something available, like if you're an anti-vaxxer and your kid, this is where me and anti-vaxxers are going to get into a fist fight. Mm-hmm. If your poor fucking kid gets polio because you didn't vaccinate him because you think it causes autism, and I've got to pay for your kid who has fucking polio, I'm beating the fucking piss out of you. Because that is pissing away my fucking money. I have a liberal government that is willing to piss away my money, which I can't stop because we voted him in again somehow. Like it's frustrating to me. If you're not going to take the fucking vaccine, tell me. And I'm going to tell you where you can move to. I want you to go to North Bay, and I want you to go northeast.
Are you about to dox me and tell them to go to my house?
No, hang on. You're going to go North Bay. You're going to go fucking northeast to northern Quebec. And that's where you're going to stop. And you're going to cut down a bunch of trees, and you're going to live in a fucking tent. Because I do not want you near anybody. Because if somehow you little anti-vaxxers can make this COVID a super COVID and fuck us again, we should have no reason.
It's not going to turn into a super COVID.
Dude, some fucking cocksucker in fucking China ate a bat. And now we got to wear fucking masks.
Yeah, I know.
And you're saying, oh, you can't do it. Anything's possible now. I have no problems.
The science doesn't agree that it's good. The science has pretty much ruled out that it's going to mutate.
It's going to mutate. You just said it's going to mutate.
Ruled out that it could mutate.
Oh, it's ruled out. Yeah, okay. And eating a bat is good for you. Fuck off.
Well, let me put it this way. It can mutate, but not enough that the vaccine won't. Well, we'll see.
We hope not. But if you get anti-vaxxers like fucking inbreeders like in fucking Redbridge, we are so fucked. It's not even funny.
Here's what I think. I think that if somebody doesn't want to take the vaccine, that's cool. You can deal with the consequences of that, but I will take my vaccine and I will be immune to you.
I'm not a fan.
Why?
Because I don't want. Listen,
you're supposed to be the right wing, freedom over fucking protection guy, and you are against the civil liberties, the freedom to choose what to do with your body.
Correct. You want to know why? Because we live in fucking Canada. That's why. I'll let you choose.
You're happy with how Canada is then?
Hang on. I will let you choose. I will let you choose not to take this vaccine. Sure. The minute you get COVID-19 and have to go into a fucking hospital, you have to pay for every single fucking day you're in there. Because I'm not playing that fucking game. You know what? You get cancer, I got you. Your kid's going through a hard time, I got you. You know what? You get hit by a drunk driver, you're drunk, whatever the fuck have you, I got you. You don't take a fucking vaccine, you cocksucker, and you got to come out of my fucking tax money? Fuck you. That's how I look at it.
Well, that's an interesting point. That's a different point that I never really thought of.
I don't care, Adam. If you don't want to take it, I don't give a fuck. The minute you go in the hospital and it's $2,000 a day, you got to fucking pay for that. And if you pay for that, I'll give you the nurse for the day. Or you know what? I only got $1,000 a day. You don't even get you get the fucking candy striper. And she's in a fucking hazmat suit. All you're getting is fucking Jello and fucking 125 milliliter milk. That's all you're fucking getting. And you know what? Your fucking ventilator's only going to work for fucking 25 minutes a day. Fuck you.
What if they pay for it themselves? If they pay for it themselves, you can't tell them they're only getting the shitty stuff.
Are you fucking kidding me? Do you know how many cheap pricks we have in this goddamn country are already enjoying a fucking free ride? Fuck you.
Hey man, I'm just saying, hypothetically, if we're giving them the benefit of the doubt, if you're saying that you got to pay for your own shit, you got to assume that they can afford it.
Here's another fucking thing too. If you're on welfare and you're an anti-vaxxer, fuck you. You're my fucking employee because I pay taxes. You're taking the fucking vaccine. I don't give a fuck. You're my employee. You're my employee. I pay taxes. You're taking the fucking vaccine.
Listen, I will say there are a few places where I think a vaccine being mandated might be a good idea, such as healthcare workers, people that work with the old, the sick. Maybe they should have to take the vaccine in those cases.
But those people understand the background. If they've seen COVID and what it does, they want to take the vaccine.
Sure.
The people that don't, it's funny. The people who are anti-vaxxers are already vaccinated.
Well, okay, this is a separate conversation. Anti-vaxxers, as far as children, I actually think is a form of child abuse. I think not getting your children vaccinated, they're too young to make the decisions themselves. Once they turn 18, they probably would have said, I wish I had gotten vaccinated. So that's a different conversation. But a person who is 18 years of age who does not want to take the COVID-19 vaccination, I think that they're an adult. They're free to make their own decision. I think that they should have that choice. They're going to have to deal with the consequences of that, which could possibly be death. But since I can take the vaccine and be vaccinated, I don't really care what they do.
Here's what we don't know yet, and I think it's going to be too late when we find out. If you had COVID-19, even if you're asymptomatic or not, we don't know the effects of that long term. We really don't, right? So what they're saying is it could cause strokes down the line. It could cause this. It could cause that. We don't know yet. And by the time we do know, like you and I are going to be old as fuck. And we're old as fuck now, but we're going to be old as fuck. Yeah. And we're going to be like, what the fuck happened? And they'll be like, oh, COVID-19. And you'll be like, oh, for fuck's sakes. But here's the thing too. If you're just going to stay in Canada and you don't want to get vaccinated, cool, man. Fucking do it. But you got to tell people that you're fucking not vaccinated. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, you got to fucking give somebody a heads up. Because once you try and leave the country, though, and they say, you don't have the vaccine, you're not welcome here, you can't get mad.
Well, and that's another thing is, as far as leaving the country, I think that that's a different conversation. I think that if, say, you want to go to Mexico or the United States and they say you have to be vaccinated, they're free to say that. That's a different conversation. I don't believe that they should be able to force people to individually decide to vaccinate. But if they say you're not allowed in our country unless you're vaccinated, they should be free to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And then it comes down to the same spot. People go, well, it's my right to leave country. No, you know what? Here's another thing too. Some people aren't welcome in my fucking house. A lot of people are welcome, but you come to my house, I'm going to tell you to leave. You don't want to leave and put you through a fucking window. I ain't going to pay for the fucking window. That's the issue.
Sure.
No, but that's the thing, man, is that we don't have, it's great to think that, like, hey, I have a choice. Like, this is in a communist run country. No, you're not. But you know what? If my poor grandmother can't get the COVID vaccine because it hasn't gotten to Sudbury yet or whatever have you, and you missed a vaccination and you gave COVID to my grandmother, you are not going to have any issues at all with hospital stay. I'm going to tell you that right now. You're not going to have a problem.
So there's an interesting avenue that I could be open to listening to is, should people be forced to take the vaccine because there are people who can't take it and could get sick because of that?
Correct. Hey man, that's what I'm thinking of. How are we going to roll it out, Adam? How would you roll it out?
How would I roll it out? Well, I would give it to the sick and the vulnerable and the hot spots first, which, like I said on this show, I don't think that North Bay is going to get it very soon.
So you and I are looking at it different. Here's what I think. Mm-hmm. Hospitals, long-term care facilities, like all those frontline work. I'm going to be careful how I say this. Frontline workers, not essential, not essential. Yeah. Frontline. The bastards that are seeing me if I need stitches because I'm an idiot, or the cops, the paramedics, the fire department, those guys need it. I want those guys to have it. Sure. Their families can hold off a minute. Then I want to go by age. I want to go down by age. And I want to start it. I don't care about hotspots. You guys don't deal with this. You don't see the stuff that I see from the guys from Toronto right now in our area. Right now in our area, it is ridiculous. We're a green zone, but everywhere around us is not a green zone. So we're the only green zone on the 401, I believe. Maybe us and Lindsay, I think. That's it.
Okay.
Everybody else is like a yellow or between Toronto and Ottawa anyways. Everybody else is like a yellow or a red.
So your argument is give it to the frontline workers, but not to the hot spots.
Nope. And then give it to the old people first.
Yeah, I agree.
Age first, and then roll down. If you want to go age, if you go like the threshold for somebody not getting it, like, and then like the people who have no immune system, like the diabetics and all those guys. Sure. Like those guys, yes, let's give it all to them.
So we agree, frontline workers, and we agree the sick and the old and the people that need it. Where we don't agree is the hot spots. You're saying don't give it to the hot spots. You
created that, man. They don't wear masks now, and so because you're a dick, everybody else has to pay for it? No, my friend. I think we go down and then we hit an age where they say anybody under the age of 45 that doesn't have any type of preconditioned health disease, that's who should get, that's when we'll stop. Then we just start dispersing it. Obviously, it's going to get to Toronto first and all that stuff, but no. The hotspots don't get it first. You guys don't wear masks now.
It's an interesting idea.
So then here's another.
But here's okay.
Hold me. Hang on. Let me just put this into perspective for you too, Spanky.
Spanky?
I don't know why I call you Spanky. I have no idea. I just wanted to call you Spanky for some reason. But anyways, so what if? And I'm going to say this about America. This is going to go there. Illegals first.
Illegals first.
No, legals first. You have to have a green card and or a health card in Canada to get said vaccine.
Well, obviously,
because we don't know. No, but we don't know. We don't know who's illegal here.
So here's the other one. I would expect in America, the wealthy are going to get it first.
Absolutely. You pay for it, of course.
Yeah. And as far as legal or illegal, I don't really know.
Okay, so let's go back to America and let me just explain something to you. Instead of the wealthy getting it, and I'm just going to go with the hotspot kind of thing where I'm kind of with you, the poverty-stricken communities, like the inner cities, need to get it first. Sure. Because they do not have a choice in living so close with other people. They really don't. And
that's what I'm saying about the hotspots is I think the reason they're hotspots is because of population density.
No, because of stupidity in Canada. I'm going to call stupidity. And I know stupidity because if you look at it, they go, well, one wedding had 72 positive cases.
Yeah.
And why? I'm like, why the fuck do they have 72 positive cases? And they said, well, they had 50 people rotating in and they all got COVID. I'm like,
oh. So that illustrates that this rotating shit doesn't work.
Absolutely. It does if you're sanitizing between. Well, but if you're not sanitizing
works, yeah.
You go to a gym, Adam, if you go to a gym, I'm going to tell you this right now, it has a lot of space and they use the proper sanitation. The chances of you getting COVID are very slim.
This is something I would actually like to hear a lot more about because I have not been going to my gym because I thought there's no way they could sanitize.
Are you Good Life? Or are you Gold?
I don't want to tell everybody where I go. It doesn't matter.
Well, no, but it does matter. It does matter because Why? Because is your Good Life? I don't know. Maybe you don't know this. Is your Good Life doing appointments only? Or are they open?
I haven't been going to any gym, so I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, because I'm in the industry. So if the gyms have upped their sanitation, which I can speak for myself, we have. Mm-hmm. The sanitation kill times are a lot better than they were before, and we had really good kill times before. And if everybody's on the same mindset of I need to work out, I think that when people work out, they're mentally in a better spot. They really are. They're in a better spot. They're happier. Their endorphins are going. They're in shape. And it takes a break away from something to like just the monotony of your day.
So let me ask you this. I have been to a gym plenty of times in my life, and many of the people that work out there do not have respect for their gym. They leave their weights lying around. They don't put things away. They don't take care of it the way that they should. They don't even wipe down their machines a lot of the time.
This could be career suicide, but continue.
So if some guy goes to the gym, uses some dumbbells, does he have to sanitize them before he puts them back, or is there an employee that does it?
I can't speak on what every gym does. I can't. I really honestly can't. I can just talk about what I see personally every day. Mm-hmm. Members, the issues we have are everybody now. I've never seen before COVID. Before COVID, it was a bit of a mess. It was a bit of a shit show. And I'm like, all right, you know what, whatever have you. It's like, then we were getting close to COVID. Then people were really wiping everything down. I have my staff out, working vigilantly. Like, and I'm talking for every staff member, every staff that I know of through my gym, sure. Including, and I can even even speak about Good Life. I can even speak about.
Let me ask. So I'm asking a specific question. Is it the responsibility of the person using the weights to wipe it down, or is it the responsibility of an employee to do it?
Both.
But is there a person there that would do it? I'm just,
yes.
I get that there's a gray area. I get that it's not.
I have staff that'll do it.
Okay.
But I can speak about our members, and I can say how much I love our members. Our members are vigilant on it.
Okay.
They are spraying, they are cleaning down their dumbbells. They are making sure everything happens. They make sure that it is the cleanest possible, because they know when we lost everything, mm-hmm. they were mad. They're like, what could we do? I'm like, you guys didn't do anything wrong. You really didn't do anything wrong. It's just as a province, instead of just hitting on the hot spots, they were like, just shut everything down.
Okay.
Coming back, everybody appreciates it, and everybody is vigilant with each other.
Okay.
And so everybody's happy. To me, it's a good time.
Okay. So I'm going to say that I'm not sure that I would trust that environment, because I have seen how terrible people are at taking care of their gym. And unless there was a person specifically there to wipe everything down, and I don't even think there could be one person that could do that, then I don't trust the people that have a gym membership to take care of the equipment.
Oh, so I can honestly tell you right now that there are Karens in the world that will gladly rat you out if you do not do proper cleaning techniques. I can tell you that right now. And those are my favorite people. But when we first came back, I think people were a little bit more like meh. But now everybody's doing it. Like, if everybody's doing it, it's cool. You got to do it. Because if not, like, even people won't like say something that kind of give you like the eyes. You know what I mean? Like the go fuck yourself eyes.
Yeah.
And I think that people have it. Like, it's unfortunate that people don't listen and won't do shit. But yes, it's unfortunate. But we have a good understanding that we don't want to lose it again. You got to respect it, and you got to clean it, man. I can't speak for your stuff in Northern Ontario. I can speak for us stuff down here, and I know people from all gyms in the area.
Yeah,
and they're saying the same thing. They're like, "No, it's amazing. We're really having a good time."
Well, the next thing I've got to ask is a guy on a treadmill.
Yep.
Is he wearing a mask?
No, as he's exerting himself, he's not. And then the minute he gets off the treadmill, he has to. And he sprays down the whole thing. And then what we do is we have an electrostatic sprayer. So every night everything gets hosed down. And then we clean it. And then we clean it all off.
But what I am thinking is, if a person is exerting themselves, they're breathing heavily.
But we have 6 feet. We have 6 feet. We have 6 feet. We have 6 feet between treadmills.
Okay.
Or between any piece of cardio equipment, and then 6 feet in front of it back.
Okay.
So like the chances of you getting COVID through a gym. Now I got to be careful how I say it and what I say it, because I don't want somebody from the media to see it and go, "Oh yeah, I know that guy." Da da da. No, but like I have faith in our cleaning, in our staff, in my staff. I also in the members, and the same with Good Life. Good Life has said a lot of great things, and I've talked to some Good Life employees, and they're saying it's fantastic. Everybody's cleaning, and we're going through record number of cleaning products. So it means it's being used.
To be clear, I'm not asking specifically at your gym. I'm just asking what the general policies are at every gym. I'm not asking.
At every gym.
And it sounds like your gym from what you're saying, is immaculate at all these things. So
no, it's the same with every gym. As far as I know, is like every gym I've talked to, and like even like some of the little yoga studios that I know some people of, and the mom and pop gyms, like they are vigilant as hell as they are, and I think it's a good thing. So awesome. I think we need every gym, and we need every type of facet of opportunity for somebody to relieve some stress. We need them open.
I absolutely agree. I think Henry Rollins, there's a quote that I often share on my Facebook, is that the best way to fight weakness is with strength, and that the best antidepressant in the world is the iron.
It's true. For the most part, it is.
I'd like to roll back. I like to take that a little bit back. Obviously, if somebody has clinical depression, working out isn't going to do all that great. But for people like myself, a workout really helps me get into the right.
It's not even that. It's even taking the dog out for like a 5K walk, like a walk. Like it doesn't. You know what? Not even 5K. You can't do 5K. You can do a block to a block, and then continue to do that block, and then you probably realize that you'll be able to do 2 blocks. And then push yourself a little bit. I'm not saying like get a gym membership. No. There's stuff you can do. Just like do something outdoors or just get moving. Instead of sitting down for a half hour, like I tell my guys, instead of sitting down half hour or an hour to watch Young and the Restless, come and walk on a treadmill and watch Young and the Restless for an hour. Like, do you know what I mean though? Like it just makes sense to just get moving. That's all it is.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
And I think that you'll be more vigilant. I think we'll be more vigilant and excited when the vaccine comes out. We can actually do something. Like I'm excited to like go, hey, cool, we all have vaccines. We don't have to wear masks anymore. Hey, I'll meet you at Canada's Wonderland next year. Awesome. You know what I mean? Like
that would be really cool. We should do that sometime.
You know what I mean? Just something dumb. Like, what do you want to do? Hey man, I'll meet you in Pembroke. What the fuck's in Pembroke? Who cares? We can see each other.
That would be, that's another interesting idea. I don't know, whatever. We'll talk about that later. But I go to the Halloween haunt at Canada's Wonderland every year. And this was the first year I didn't go because of COVID.
I understand, man. I completely understand. My phone is going off here. Give me a sec. Yeah, no. And it sucks. And you know what? We have to enjoy what we have.
Your coworker is saying we can finally go for a pint.
Exactly. I don't know what coworker it is because I don't have YouTube up and I refuse to put YouTube up.
Why do you refuse to have YouTube up?
Well, because I don't want to. Dude, I am the master of fucking shit that goes wrong. Why would I have YouTube up?
I can give you a link to a window that'll open up just the comments, but I don't know. I don't know how good you are with tabs or multiple. Do you have multiple monitors by chance?
2 monitors? No, dude. I have nothing. Not funny, you fuckface.
Well, I have 2 monitors, so that's why when it looks like I'm not paying attention, if I'm looking over here, I'm actually paying attention over here. I have a whole lot of stuff going on at the same time.
Perfect. So we're in the same boat, and we're saying that we have 2 COVID vaccines, which we'll take.
Yeah, I'll take them. I don't think that we should force people to take them, though.
Fuck you. If you're a government employee, you're taking any type of government assistance, you're going to take it. Government
employee. Well, I mean, if you're that's an interesting.
If you're getting money from taxpayers, your job is to take the vaccine. I don't care if you're a government employee, you're on welfare. You are on welfare. I pay for you. You are taking that vaccine.
Government employee is in welfare. I don't know about that. Come on now. Hey, listen, man. I believe in giving people the choice to live their life the way they want, decide what they want to do with their body.
Listen, absolutely. And here's the thing. I will never cut somebody from working at Tim Hortons or working a shitty job as long as you're a paying member of, not even a paying member, you're an active member of society. I don't care. I don't care if you're on ODS, if you're on ODSP and you're volunteering somewhere, like you're volunteering at the Salvation Army or whatever, but you physically can't work, that's your call. I got your back. But if you're sitting at home and you're on welfare and you have 7 kids, you and your 7 kids are taking the vaccine.
That's not fair. That's not fair, man. I don't agree with that.
I don't
agree with that. I don't agree with that. You can't force the poor to do things with their body. Like that is not fair.
They probably make more money than most of them make more money than we do. We work. If you have 7 kids, I can guarantee. We'll talk about it off the air. I'll explain to you something that I just read.
Okay.
Or actually, I know as well. No, but I'm just saying, like you have to take the vaccine. But if yeah, absolutely.
We fundamentally disagree. I don't think you could force anyone except for possibly nurses to be working with the sick. Then I think they should have to take it.
Then we'll agree if you get COVID and you didn't take the vaccine, you got to pay for your hospital stay.
See, that's an interesting conversation too. I'm not sure that I agree with that, but I think that that's a fair argument.
That's a fair argument. Here's another too. If you're drunk and you're driving and you hit a telephone pole and you go to the hospital, I think you should still have to pay for the hospital stay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
Same thing with COVID. You don't want to take it. You get COVID-19. We have a vaccine available. Too bad you pay. We're done. It's the same thing.
All right. Well, we've actually
You know
got Rob here.
He's already here. I wanted to talk about Rudy's face paint.
Okay, well, let's talk about Rudy's face paint first. Because
Can you bring Rob in for this one? I want to ask him a question, then we'll jump into Mando.
Well, I don't know what Rob's doing. Unfortunately, with this, we cannot see into their window before I admit them. Before I had a waiting room that I could see. So Rob,
hey Rob, if you're
Rob could be naked right now.
What the fuck was that guy's name? Rob Manfred? No, that's not Rob. Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton?
Jeff Bezos. No, who the fuck was
Tubin.
Yeah. So Rob, I hope you're not tubing it. Like, let's get him in. Let's get him in.
All I know is that every time I've ever had to add Rob, I've had to wait a little bit because it looks like there's a whole lot going on. He's walking back and forth, whatever. Now I can't see what he's doing to spare him. So let's go live with Rob. Here we go.
Jeffrey Tubin. Just Rob. Oh, he's connecting.
Rob
is connecting to audio. Oh, let's see what's going on. Robbie. Oh, he is Tubin.
It doesn't look like he has video on. So Rob is not ready.
Rob is not ready. So as we wait, Adam, have you ever dyed your hair before, my friend?
No, actually. I've thought about it, but I've never actually done it.
Oh, I'm hearing audio. Okay, I hear audio. Rob?
How's it going?
Put your video on. Put your video on.
Just a second. Let me set up here. Every time?
What are you tobing in there? What the hell
yeah, I don't know. I missed that part. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it doesn't sound good.
No, it's not good.
Do you want
okay, here we go. I'm just trying to get at least get set up in landscape here.
Landscape? We're on Zoom. We're on Zoom, right?
But he means
that's the problem, right? So
I didn't vertical or widescreen is what he's talking about.
Yeah, I'm basically trying to set up for widescreen, but yeah, I wasn't prepared because I was trying to set up this nice little background so you could see all this junk, and then all of a sudden you pull out Zoom because before we were all portrait, right?
I understand. Yes, I understand that, Rob. But it's nice. It's nice to hear your voice. I mean, we can't see you, but I mean, it is here.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna start video. Let's see how
all right,
it looks.
Let's see.
I'm gonna start very close and move. Like this is like such a lead up now. Like you're gonna be so disappointed.
You better have a Boba Fett hat on or something.
Not in like a hot air balloon or something. It's gonna be horrible. Oh, there we go.
What the hell you got back behind you?
Look at that!
What the hell you got behind you? Oh shit!
Yeah, I made a little bit of a. Here, let me see here.
So you got Zelda. You got your. Is that it? Dude, move over to the.
You want to see my whole?
Is that a 64 box in there?
Okay. Yeah. So I had saved it forever, and then my stupid water heater burst at like 4 a.m. and just drenched it all. So now
hang on. Ruined. Wow, I am geeking out hard. Okay, so we got that looks like the Zelda Link to the Past on the right. Basic Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then you've got PS2 Slim,
pretty
Nintendo
cool TIE
Wii.
Fighter. Look at that TIE Fighter.
Yeah,
look at that lunchbox. He-Man lunchbox.
He-Man lunchbox on the right.
Yeah,
you got yourself
my lunchbox from kindergarten.
Really, that's awesome.
I managed to save it from many. And look, it's like all back. Is it all in reverse on your screen?
Yeah, it's all good. No, it's all good. But you have you have a Super Nintendo with a Nintendo controller on the end of it. You got another Nintendo controller. You got a Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS.
It's not backwards
so
because you can read Zelda.
Because
dude, no, but like
I'm gonna get robbed.
Is that a purple? Is that a purple 64?
This is a GameCube here.
No, the box itself. Is that the original? That's the box for the black one?
Oh, the Nintendo 64. Yeah, that's the.
Now, is the Nintendo 64 in there?
No, it isn't. Where is it actually? It's here somewhere.
Do you still have it? Or all the regular? The reason I'm asking is all the original papers and all that in that box.
I actually just pulled it out. Like I was just like, oh, this would be cool to show behind. and I pulled it out, and I have a bunch of papers from Super Nintendo boxes and all kinds of stuff in there.
Dude,
But
that's worth more money than most of anything. To get because people want to buy their stuff complete. Where's Adam?
Yeah.
Adam's not talking. I don't even know.
I'm still here.
No, well,
Can you hear
if
me?
you had the
Right.
case and everything, that's one thing. But yeah. So the interesting thing with the Super Nintendo actually is they screwed up at the factory with the
No. So the
with-
yellow,
with the
the
colors?
yellow, no, the yellow is a fire safety.
Yeah, so they made a mistake, the chemist, when they mixed the parts. So you're right. It's like, you know, what you're saying, right? It's for fire purposes.
Yep.
But that's why this piece is gray, and the rest of it, I got one where you could see just the different plastics came out fine. Like see that that cap at the back.
Those are all aftermarket parts. Yes, sir.
That's interesting.
No. So they had 2 batches, and one of the batches didn't turn out with the fire safe stuff, and so some people have the top part is bad, the bottom part. So mine is like everything except the 2 keys, like the 2 expansion
So it has
parts.
turned yellow over time, is what you're saying?
Yeah. If you find one that's not yellow, it's worth so much more money.
Yeah, it started happening in like it probably came out in 92, so it started happening after like a couple of years. I think they realized at the factory they made the mistake, but like this one I got I don't know, it was probably like a year after it came out or so.
I just assumed it was your heavy smoking habit.
So that's all your So that's all the original stuff. That's all your own original stuff.
This is original stuff from my childhood. Yeah, pretty much.
Wow, that's amazing. You kept it. Well, that's Thanos, obviously.
This is just recent, like 5 years ago, maybe I bought this, but everything else is.
Rob's got the best setup out of all of us, eh?
Well, yeah. Once my setup gets done, like all my vintage,
let's see.
I don't have anything
your
now.
screen right now.
Yeah.
I've got you on Spotlight right now, so that everybody can see. Since
whenever you talk. Whenever we talk or move, then you'll see our screens different.
Well, not right now. Right now, we're just looking at Rob because he's.
Oh, are you? I got out of that by clicking gallery.
Yeah, the thing is since you were commenting on Rob's background, I had to put him on Spotlight because every time you talk, it would just look at you. So had to Spotlight.
Good call. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. No, but to be honest with you, Rob, like that stuff's worth a lot of money. I don't know if you pay attention to that stuff, but that is worth a lot of money.
You'd think so. There's a lot of people that still have them, and so the more people that their parents throw away this stuff at a garage sale, the more value it'll have. But
my Super Nintendo collection, I think, is just under 1,000. Worth 1,000 right now. My 64 collection is about what's that? I think that's just under 1,000. My Master System's just under 5, and my regular Nintendo. It's my regular Nintendo.
Yeah.
I think my regular Nintendo's about 700.
Does anyone have a glitch-free copy of No Mercy?
I do.
Do you have a glitch-free copy? Really?
Let me see what I have. Oh, I can't leave the screen. Okay, wait. Don't show me right now. Let me see my collection here.
Well, if you don't talk, it won't show you. But if you, I believe if you show me the serial number, I can look at it. I think if it has a 01 on it, it's good. But I don't really know for sure.
Might have. I think I do.
If you look, I can look it up. I think if it has 01 at the end of the serial number, it's a good one. But I'd have to Google it again to just make sure. I was trying to purchase one, but apparently they're really hard to find. Some people say they may not even exist. There are people on the internet who swear that every copy is one with a glitch, and there are other people who swear that there's 3 different versions: one with a glitch, one without blood because eventually they banned blood, and a third one where it has blood and no glitch.
Wow, nice. So, Rob, let me just ask you a question. I know we're going to go into the Mando stuff. Have you ever dyed your hair?
Oh no, we're not talking about that with Rob.
Oh, come on. No, I want to know.
No, this is my hair. No, I'm not quite there yet.
Gentlemen, I'm going to tell you this. Let me just say this right now. I'm going to give you a tip to the wise. If you're going to dye your hair, don't use Just for Men that you brush into your hair and then go in front of a bunch of lights and start sweating, because it's going to leave like marks. Down your face.
I saw that video, and it's pretty. I don't know what to say about that guy. He, like they said, when there's a crisis and stuff, everybody just is like, "Wow, that guy's so he was there." basically is what it is. So he got a lot
Rudy
of credit for
Giuliani was
nothing.
there.
Yeah,
Dude.
he was there. Like he actually, if you actually look at the things that he did,
Yeah.
he like moved like a really important part of their security apparatus to that building after it previously it was attacked by terrorists. So
Okay.
he like, I don't know, if you really look
He
at it, he
did-
didn't really do anything special. And
Well, what
so
did he
everybody
do?
gave him a lot of credit for nothing, and he turned out to be, I don't know,
An idiot.
Kind of a
Okay,
clown.
Rob, I don't want you to speak. All I'm going to tell you right now is that Borat scene didn't kill his career. Paint coming down the side of his face killed his career. They're more worried about fashion than anything else. He was New York's mayor. Now what is he? He's got a line of brown coming down his face. The Papa Shango curse, if you would, rolling down his
Papa
face.
Shango. That's a
The
good
Papa Shango
sick
curse.
reference. Sick reference.
Yes.
Everybody
Yeah,
knows you've got the sickest references.
Exactly. I know that for sure. All right, boys. This is the part I'm going to be better at this week because I really enjoyed The Mandalorian, the last episode.
I thought it was an okay episode. I thought there was some interesting stuff about it. But
favorite episode so far.
Why is it your
So
favorite
far.
episode?
My God, The Mandalorian disappeared finally, was out of the scene for 10 minutes. It was 10 minutes of action. Gina, I thought, did a great job in acting. I really enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed everything about the episode. And it made The Mandalorian, it made me like The Mandalorian even more, even with a little bit of comedy. I thought it was a good episode.
I'm gonna say this. You mentioned Gina Carano. For an MMA fighter, you think she would have been able to fucking apply that chokehold a little bit tighter? It didn't look realistic at all.
Listen, she probably was warned not to kill this guy.
Rob, what do you think of the episode?
Yeah, I really liked it too. I feel like I maybe liked the previous one a little bit more, but this was probably the second one. And like you're kind of waiting for these big reveals, and there was a few of those, and not as like there were some the usual little references to things that all the nerds love, and but I just really like it's moving the story ahead. We got to see some new some progression in the main story that we were saying kind of it's really speeding up, and it's getting pretty exciting. So it's also pretty funny, some of the new things that they're not funny, but I just find the new ship that they showed, we're kind of, I guess people are sick of the Star Destroyers a little bit at this point, and so they're excited to see a new Imperial capital ship. But that one kind of reminded me more of the Spaceball one than it did any other Star Wars ship. If you ever see,
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest,
right?
man. I'm gonna be honest, man. You're speaking a little bit beyond me because I was like, oh, that's a Star Destroyer.
Yeah, it is, but it's just I don't know. I guess it's more the way that they showed it, right? Like
Okay.
It's more space ballsy, let's say. More space ballsy. I think that, and I don't want to say space ballsy because it just sounds horrible, but I kind of get your reference, Rob, which is really good.
Yeah,
Sick
well,
reference. Everybody knows you've got the sickest references, Rob.
I do have the sickest references, and yeah, it's true.
So true.
So let me ask you guys this: they had a tank with something growing in it. Is this a clone, or what do you guys think is happening there?
Yeah, so it seemed like from that from the hologram, like we saw that scientist, doctor, whatever, from the first season.
Yeah.
So he seemed. Most people are assuming from what he was saying that what they've been trying to do is they use the blood from the child, from Baby Yoda, to try and make other Jedi. Like they're trying to basically infuse that into Imperials, like stormtroopers, and turn them into Jedi. And it seemed like it wasn't working.
Like Force sensitive. Yeah, that's
like basically to turn them into Jedi. And they used I think they called it. They used M, and that was just so they wouldn't have to say midichlorian, because everybody just rolls their eyes and makes it.
I remember that their M rating or something is what they said, and I was like, oh, that's midichlorian.
Yeah, it is.
Oh no, but at least they called it M instead of midichlorian.
Yeah, and now I guess it's canon in some ways that there's clones. Like you could clone the Emperor, right? And in one way or another. So, and that was what I was talking about previously, that people were like, clones and stuff. But at least so it's not cloning. It's that now we know that that's, that is why they were taking his blood, that they wanted to use it to make, it seems like you assume to make other Jedis, so they have more, more powerful soldiers.
Yeah, well, that is what they were saying, is that they need more blood from the
child,
the child, and the host didn't take the blood or something like that. But yeah, I agree that is what they're doing. I was just a little bit thrown off by they have this laboratory with something growing inside of the tank there, but.
Where are they going with this? So let me just explain this. You two have knowledge that I don't even have knowledge for. I enjoy.
Do you know what a metachlorian is? Do you know what metachlorian is?
Probably do, but I don't know it as a metachlorian. So you guys have the knowledge. I'm like the dumb idiot sitting in the corner, just trying to get along.
Yeah, you must be used to that by now, though, Jean-Marc, right?
Well, Rob, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've said a lot of nice things about you. I'm probably gonna take some of those back. No, but to be honest with you, tell me, give me the how do I say this? The dumb version. Dummy it down for JM.
What do you want dummy down?
Okay. What do you guys think is in this in that thing? Like, what's in there? So you're saying the blood has been transfused. Now they're trying to build something, but the subject didn't take it. So the blood or whatever they have hasn't been taken. And what do you think it is?
I feel like there's two different things going on. Is one, they're trying to sort of take the blood and infuse it into some of their people to create Jedi or Force sensitive people. Okay. I'm not really sure if that's what they're doing in that tank, or if they're maybe doing another experiment there or something. I'm not really sure.
I think that's what it was trying to say. And I think the best analogy, the best thing you could think of is think of Captain America, right? They needed because they mentioned volunteer. So they were just like, okay, we need an edge in this war. Like the Imperials are losing. And they were just like, okay, we need some edge and they just decided they found Baby Yoda somehow, right? Like they knew he was there at that, whoever had him, that they hired the Mandalorian to go get him there and to kidnap him for that reason. So they could use his blood to try and make
a super Jedi soldiers. Okay, a super soldier.
That's all it is. So the people in the tanks were just volunteer stormtroopers, probably. That's what I got from it. But it's really it's really short. Like you could see they're watching it, and their big takeaway from it was that they're still after Baby Yoda, and that's why they had to leave. So you don't really have to get everything. All you have to get is they want that Moff Gideon still wants Baby Yoda, so they have to. And he's like, okay, I got to get out of here, and that's why he jetpacked back to the city as soon as he could. Like that's why they separated there.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Like you guys talk about it, then break it down for JM. I think that if you break it down for JM, I understand it. I like it more.
Yeah. And well, one thing that I really appreciate about that development in the show is that I've criticized the show because I didn't like that they were all sort of compartmentalized. But now that we understand what Moff Gideon is after, and it's the child, I feel like every episode is going to be part of a series, and it's not going to be as self-contained in these episodes anymore.
Well, that's what they said they were going to do with it when it started. They were like, they're going to get away from more just the Mandalorian, and they want to break out more. I think it just took them this long to get there.
Yeah.
Like if we're looking only at a 12 episode series, you got to start moving stuff along, because as much as you like it, when things start to prolong too much, and I'm going to talk just like on the entertainment side, when things start to prolong too much, people will just lose their mind and go, I'm done. Because like a good show probably has between 5 and 7 years to be a really great show.
Sure. I think this show has been getting really good, though.
I agree with you guys 100%. Like it's got my wife's attention. That's awesome. When I watch Star Wars, like when I watch the original 3, my wife goes, I hate this. I hate it.
She hates the original 3.
Well, she just hates Star Wars because she thinks it's for geeks.
Well, Well, you have to. Everybody has their own preferences. It's nice. It's good that she likes this, and there's a lot of people that they pick. They probably have certain Star Wars that they like, and maybe younger kids that grew up on different Star Wars episodes than we do have a different idea, and the cartoons and this and that. And great example is the Ewoks. I actually watched the Ewoks for years before I knew what they were. I had no idea it was anything connected to Star Wars at all.
Yeah, the cartoon Ewoks. I'm surprised Disney hasn't put that out yet. Like, I don't know what's going on here.
Well, no,
So I
there's
think that
actually
was-
there's actually Ewok movies. I watched them as well when I was a kid, but
was it not a weekly cartoon? Am I missing this somewhere?
there might
Yeah,
have
it was a
been.
Saturday morning cartoon as well.
Huh.
Yeah.
And I guess there was an episode where the Millennium Falcon visits, and I'm trying to remember if I'm just like imagining that I saw it at the time or if I heard about it after. But I was like, who the hell are these two? Because that was before I watched Star Wars. I was just like, oh, it's just a bunch of teddy bears in the forest, right? It was like Teddy Ruxpin's family was all there. I thought one day
Shout out to Teddy Ruxpin. Yes. Shout
I
out to
thought
Teddy
one day he's
Ruxpin.
going to show up with that hot air balloon and they just have a reunion or something. Like, I don't know. I just was a kid watching, little bears run around and throw spears at each other, just like any kid would love.
Did you watch the movies though?
I didn't see the movies. No.
Oh, okay.
There was a live, right? It was like a live action movie, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a cartoon. I didn't see that one. No.
There's
Even
actually-
to this day, I haven't seen it. So I guess there's still much higher levels of nerd than me. For sure.
I don't
I'm
think you-
just like an apprentice nerd.
I don't think you missed much. I watched them as a kid. I don't remember much of them except they would every movie. There were several of them. There's like 7 of them, but it would start with a new kid finding these Ewoks and becoming one of the Ewoks, and then I guess the kid would get old and they'd need to keep a kid in it to appeal to children or something, and they'd find another kid in the next movie.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, let's go back to the Mandalorian. Like,
Sure.
what am I expecting here? What's coming up? What should I expect? And like, what did you guys rate that on like the season? Let's just talk about the season. Where did you guys rate that on the season episode so far? Is that the second best episode after the last one? You guys really seem to like the last one. I was like, man, to me, Sasha Banks ruined it for me, but that's neither here nor there. I just thought her acting was bad. But like other people think that Bill Burr's acting on the last season was bad, but I really liked his acting. So to me, it was like, maybe I just didn't really get the scenario with her. And I think that my favorite episode was the last one that just passed. I thought that was a really good one.
I thought that this episode was probably the second best. I liked the last episode a little bit better.
Better, yeah.
I thought Bill Burr's acting was fine. I don't know what people are talking about. I will admit that Sasha Banks' acting was less than stellar, but I thought she was just sort of there to appear, and she was very secondary to the rest of the episode. So I would rank this one number 2.
Number 2? All
Rob, what do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I would say that as well. And you know what? Maybe even I don't know. Like, I don't think aside from some of those like the reveals we talked about that we know why they're after Baby Yoda. I don't know if there was anything all that exciting about breaking into that base and setting off the thing, because it's just kind of it was the usual, like you're shooting stormtroopers, you're finding some weakness, and then you're exploiting it to blows up everything. So that part is kind of I almost wish there was something more to it. Like there's so many different tactical ways you could take down a base in Star Wars, right? And that's almost my my one criticism of the show, because the episodes are so self-contained and you're jumping from one planet to another. It almost feels like a Star Wars video game where you see like you see a map of all the planets and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to Coruscant this time. I'm gonna go to Navarro this time. That's almost would be my one criticism. It's almost like a movie, like those what do they call them? Like a road trip movie where like this happened, then that happened, then that happened. So it's almost like I wish it was a little bit more connected. Like there would be almost a cliffhanger from one that would lead into the next in a way.
That's actually what I was saying is there should be a Mandalorian MMORPG based on this, where you go to different planets and you can do the missions, and I've even in the past, I've said, like, this character reminds me of the character that you click on, and every time you click on them, they send you on a different mission. The only time they interact with that character is to get sent on a different mission. You're absolutely right. It does feel very much like a video game.
Yeah, I think so. And there was a video game I never played it. I think it's called Star Wars Galaxies, and it's I think it's kind of in that realm. It's like a World of Warcraft for Star Wars. And I never played that one, so I don't know a lot about it, but I remember seeing it if you look it up.
So here's my thing: is that you were disappointed on how to enter a base. I thought that was one of the highlights of one of the highlights of the show, and I'm going to look at it from a point of view of comedy. All of a sudden, there's 3 of them. They go open up the front door. Mando takes off. He goes straight up. You go, all right. You're waiting. They're having a conversation. Open the door. They can't open the door. The little guy is going like, I need water. He's like, get in here. All of a sudden, you hear, pew. and the guy just randomly falls, and they're waiting, and you hear the scream, and then all of a sudden he lands, and the door opens. I was like, that's great. Literally, the Mandalorian took off. They had their own conversation without him to tell the guy with the flippers to get inside. And then they go, okay, the guy falls, they get in, and the guy's like, I'm not leaving anywhere. And they go, well, the lava will get you. And he goes, I'm on my way. And then he goes in with them. But then the thing that got me was that he's like, oh, I'm dehydrating. 30 minutes later, he's still in the ship and he's around all this lava. I'm like, what are you doing? You should have died by now. But no, we'll get away and we'll go away and we'll get moving. But to me, I thought that was a great way to enter the base.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I don't have any problem with that. I guess I just feel like once they were in the base, it was almost formulaic in a little bit. It's just
that's everything, right? That's everything, right? Like it doesn't matter. Like they have
it doesn't have to be. That's what he's saying. Is he's saying it feels formulaic.
But they're paying homages, like shut this off. Okay, they walk around like they did on the New Hope. Shuts it off. Okay, go this way, go that way. Like they did a lot of stuff that, like, if you weren't paying attention, I don't think you would have got it. And I was like, oh, I know where that's from. Oh, okay. So all bases are built the same way when you're on the Empire. You shut this off and then you move on to this way and you move on. That's how I thought it was.
Yeah, it's always that reactor, right? It's the warp core in Star Trek. It's a reactor in Star Wars. It's always like go after their power source and make that blow everything up. I just thought it would have been more creative if they had some way, if there was, they're dealing with the volcano. Like maybe there was some way they could have had the volcano, cause it to like erupt into the base. They don't even have to go inside the base. They just like set charges and a weak point or something. I don't know. I'm just saying I'm sick of the whole get to the reactor and set it off thing.
But that's a possibility in a movie. You're looking at a 35-minute episode. You don't have
but they could do the same thing. Like they explain it either way. They explain it in 10 seconds what they're going to do. They're just like, okay, what's going to happen? Tell me about this bling. And what's his name? Carl Weathers is just this. Oh, you know what? It's the same thing we always do. Let's just go after the reactor and blow it up. And so he didn't really have to explain too much. He just was like, okay, that sounds good. That sounds like what we always do. So, okay, good.
You know what? Talking about Carl Weathers, if that was Russian made, he probably would have died. If it was a Predator, he probably would have died. Or an alligator, he probably would have lost an arm. But I mean, that's neither here nor there, right? Like, I mean, that's just how he is. Let's just go after the reactor, and that's what it is. But I think that, like, you guys are looking at it way too deep. Like, that's an hour episode. Dude, are you telling me that you wouldn't have liked Star Wars? They would have came out at the end of New Hope and like, Luke, all you got to do is shoot a phaser into this hole and everything blows up. He goes, cool, I got it. You got to watch the 4 guys that shouldn't be in the academy blow up first, and then he does it because you want to create suspense, right? Like it's so easy. That's all it is they just go, it's easy. Yeah. And you also forget they filmed this during a pandemic. That's what people aren't appreciating. Be happy you got something. Like everybody's kind of upset, and it's like, yeah, right, well, yeah, I understand, but I wouldn't go that far. We're in a pandemic.
What does a pandemic have to do with anything? Like you can still
film because you can't. No, but they stopped filming forever. They were like, we got to push this out because fans want it, and they're trying to give you the best they can.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get me wrong. I like the episode and stuff. I was just hoping for, something a little more creative than the reactor thing, but that's not a reason for me not to like it. And it's sorry. Sorry, go ahead, Rob. Go ahead. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not a reason not to like it, but if we're just gonna criticize little things, I'm just thinking it would have been cool if there was some other way that it could have been involved. Like it could have been I don't know. There's so much in Star Wars where they're doing little tricks for strategy. So I just feel like it's a little tired at this point to blow up the reactor. That's all. But I still, like I said, I still love the episode, and I like the fight at the end, the dog fighting, the 3 TIE fighters.
Yeah.
That carrier is in Rebels so much. Like I feel like half the episodes they're using the carrier that they were driving, and with the turret at the top, and so that was pretty cool. And what else was I going to say? So it was cool, like seeing the turret against the TIE fighters, because a lot of times you usually see fighter like a starship against a starship, and you see a tank against a tank. So it's kind of cool that the good guys are in the tank and the bad guys are in the the TIE fighters shooting it down. And what else was I going to say? There was something else, but yeah, there was a lot of cool scenes in it. And it was cool to see like all these people, like I guess the classroom scene with Baby Yoda where all the kids are.
I forgot about that.
Like,
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Can you imagine if that happened in like a real classroom? All of a sudden your teacher's just like, oh, we have a new student today. It's Baby Yoda.
Yeah. What I thought was like the kid won't share their treat with him, and Yoda's just like, fuck you, bitch, I'm taking it. Like, that's not cool.
Okay. So let's look at it from a point of view of what the outsiders were pissed off about last time. Baby Yoda eats eggs.
Yeah.
They're like, fucking guy is a murderer. Right? He's a murderer. Wow. This poor kid has are they macaroons? Is that what they call them?
That's what they look like.
I thought they were macaroons. The kid's like, no. Now this poor kid, like he could have literally had to sell 25 newspapers to buy those macaroons. It was like, dude, like this is my only meal of the day. And he's like, no. And then Yoda's like,
yeah.
Yoda's
a bully.
Little dick. He's a little dick, and I cannot wait for him to get shot, eaten, killed, blood drawn from him. I can't wait. I honestly can't wait.
I think it's kind of funny because, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead, Rob.
I was just gonna say it's really funny. So the last time there was like, this sentient being's eggs were being eaten, and that's why people were offended that like, no, those were gonna grow up to be like fully, formed aliens, right? And people essentially, and that's why they were upset. Now this one. It's really funny that a French Canadian has to get upset about the macaroons getting eaten. That's just so hilarious to me that when you saw those, you were just like, you know what really upset me about this episode? Just you don't steal someone else's macaroons. You got to work for those things, right?
It's not even that. It's like, so if the kid would have just gave him one, would he have just stopped at one, or would he have taken the rest anyways? Like Baby Yoda's a bully, guys. You guys are supporting bullies. Like I know what I'm
saying. I'm saying he's a bully here. Sometimes I think he's all right, but in this one, it's like, whoa, that's a little out of line. That kid's eating their food. That's their food. Yoda's just like, I'm taking it. And the kid just is like, I guess that's happening.
But then you could also look at it where this guy doesn't know his parents. He's in an adoptive family, and the dad just travels around like a nomad. So really, you're like, all right, maybe Baby Yoda has a point. Maybe Mando's a dick. He doesn't feed the kid. There we go. You heard it here first. Mando is not a very nice person, will not feed the child.
Yeah, Baby Yoda is hungry a lot of the time, I have to say. So that is a good point. And but at the same time, we don't know what Baby Yoda's mental age is. Like we know he's supposed to be in his 50s, but he's still essentially like a 5-year-old.
Dude, so am I. I'm 37. I'm 37. I'm like a 14-year-old boy. You say boobs and laugh. So, like, I mean, we don't know what's happening, right? But
yeah, so you should definitely be able to empathize with Baby Yoda then in that way.
I absolutely do. I know how much everything behind you is worth. I mean, like all your video games you have from a child, I know all those, and I have most of them. So I mean, that's here and there. No, I just think that it was a great episode. It was my favorite, your second favorite, and then the last one was my second. So we just switched over. And I'm just saying, like, from a person who likes Star Wars and loves Star Wars, but doesn't know the knowledge that you guys do, I thought it was a great episode. I thought it was a really good episode.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a pretty good episode. Rob, what do you think? Good episode?
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's still probably my second favorite from the season for all the same reasons that you guys listed. Gina Carano is great. Carl Weathers. I don't know how you could complain about any TV show or movie that Carl Weathers appears in. Like they could just have they could just have him talking the whole time and I'd watch it.
He could just show up anywhere. He just shows up anywhere. You don't even care.
He is a really good actor. There's a couple lines where I was like, that's kind of a funny line, but he delivers it so believably.
Yeah, where you would look back at it, you start laughing, like you go, ha ha ha. Maybe the second watch or the third watch, you go, man, that's funny.
And one thing that bothered me is that guy with the fucking fins. He's like, you have 350 years of service, and then he's just like, I'll knock 100 years off for this. I'll knock 50. By the end of it, he's barely got any fucking time left, and it's just he throws it around like, if you sit in that car, you'll get 30 years knocked off your fucking sentence. Like,
well, yeah, but like, dude, that's something you can do it. Like that's how.
It just I don't know.
Adam, if you're doing
Seems a little cringy to me. Like you have 350 years and you got to spend 10 minutes with me and you lose 100 years, you know?
Can I ask you a personal question, boys? Have you ever had the power of under your thumb or your finger for 350 years? You don't know what kind of power you would use that power. I don't know. I'd probably do the same thing. I'm like, hey, Rob, go get me a coffee. I'll knock off 3 years. You're like, all right, boss, here you go.
Listen,
bang, 3 years gone.
3 years I can understand. They went through 130 in this.
Dude, all I wanted Rob to do was get me a coffee. I didn't ask him to come into instant death and gunfire. That's probably, Rob, I'll knock off 100 years, you roll in with us. All right, here's a gun.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. Like I was just gonna ask, like, what do you take in it? Do you want cream or sugar or what? What's the deal?
That's what I'm talking about.
I think that's a pretty good deal to me. I get coffee
like,
all day for 3 years off. You know.
That's see, Adam, you got to open your mind. You got to expand your mind, my friend.
I'm not used to bargaining years of slavery with people. So
that's because you're in the wrong frame of mind. And it's not slavery. The guy's in jail to him. He owed to him. Because he almost killed Mando.
It's like, it's pretty close though. It's indentured servitude. Like he basically is he basically explained that he stole the money, right? Like he embezzled from him. He was doing tricky accounting, and so now he's just working it off, right? So there's worse things, there's worse things, especially in Star Wars. We've seen
one shot first. Right, so, on shot first, right? So I mean, on shot first or hand.
Oh yeah, but I was gonna say one thing that we missed. I think this is the thing I was gonna talk about earlier. So I kind of thought he was gonna turn on them like the whole time. He was a little bit shifty. You see him like have some weird, and which is completely normal if you're in like gonna get shot by stormtroopers possibly. They didn't really land too many shots there at all, except on the Mandalorian as usual, right? That's the ongoing joke, right? That they always miss. But then they did show that one of the mechanics was in on it with Moff Gideon and put some kind of tracking device on him. So now it seems like the idea is what's going to happen next episode is they're back on track to go find Ahsoka Tano, and now they're going to lead the whole what's left of the Empire right to her.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting point. I didn't think of that. So that's. That will be a very good episode.
So what are we on? What do we get? 10 episodes this season or 12?
I think it's 9.
Oh, so we're coming up to the end then.
I think we've got 4 more. What episode are we on for this season?
This was 5, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was 5.
So we've got 4 more if it's a 9-season show, which I believe it is. So we're coming to the end.
Which I'm really excited about.
You're really excited about it. Why?
I like the ending. I like the ending of the first season. So I'm really stoked on the end of the second season.
Mm-hmm. I guess one thing about that too makes me think that I'm really glad that they're dropping it like this on Fridays. It gives us something to look forward to. Mm-hmm. Because if they put it all in a weekend, like Netflix usually does, if you've watched like Stranger Things or this or that, everybody's like, there's all this lead up to this this show, and then they're all out at once. So I guess I'm kind of glad it's a show that we could talk about once a week, and it comes out like this. Otherwise it's just like a race to review it online, especially too, and a race to get through it all, or else people spoil it for you. So at least
it's really good for a show like this where we can talk about it every week instead of just one time talk about the whole series.
Yeah, which is garbage, man. I don't like that. I enjoy like I'm with you. I want the lead up. I want like the, oh shit, I can't wait till the end. But then also what I've done is like some shows I've watched and I'm like, you know what, I'll just wait till it's all done. And then you wait and I get like Game of Thrones, I was 3 seasons behind. I come up, I caught right up. I'm like, I need more. And then you have to wait. Like that's the garbage thing is like you catch up and you're like, oh, I gotta wait for more. Which isn't good, but this is a really good series and I'm really stoked on it. I really enjoy it.
All right, guys. So I think I'm gonna. Guys, have anything else you want to add before we go?
No, I got nothing at all.
Rob?
No, it was really fun. So I'm looking forward to the next episode. See what happens next.